Okay, welcome everybody to the Rap Yard. I'm not sure if our guest is able to join or not. I think there might be some connection issues or something, but we're gonna hang in there and see what happens. Um, but yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me go over our. All right, let's try this. You good?
There we go. There we go. We
Okay.
good. There we go.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I wasn't sure. You kept popping in and out during the countdown, so I wasn't sure if you were. All right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Rap Yard. You want to introduce yourself or?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm the Doro Monster Yo Penix. My entertainment name is Monster Yo. I'm CEO co-CEO of School of Gorilla West. I run it with my right hand man, Lord Days. CEO of Monster Yo Music ENT. I'm co-CEO of Classic ENT with my business partner LBC Face. Um, I'm also co-partners with King PR, my brother Dominic. I'm an author of 17 books. Uh, I'm a manager of artists, like 2 3 Moolah, Cedric Carter, 1700 Way, Lady Too Much, and co-manager of D3 The Star. I'm a club promoter. We from here and abroad, we from Colombia to America. You know, um, I'm an academic. I have degrees in psychology, communication, liberal arts. I have a doctorate in theology. I'm a hip hop artist. I've done music with various big names like, Snoop Dogg, Glasses Malone, Sean Kingston, Nipsey Hussle, Eminem, you know, um, uh, P Nice, Lone Beachy Will, and the list goes on and on.
It
Oh,
sure does.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a movie director. I've just directed a movie called Pulling Strings from the Being, which will be finished this month, and we should be having it out premiering sometime next year. I'm an
Okay.
actor. My first acting career was back when I was a kid. I was on a Kwanzaa video, and then now I'm in First Great Date with my bro Wacko Magoon, and Greatness Films, Greatness Pictures. I'm a boxing promoter. I'm a humanitarian. I do a lot for people. I'm always giving. I'm always putting in for people because my life is about servitude. I'm a nominee. I'm a Nobel Peace Prize nominee with my brothers who are part of this struggle of ending hostilities and long-term solitary confinement and long-term solitary confinement. I'm a GERD Award winner, and I'm a winner of the community of the Leadership Award for the community throughout Los Angeles. So I wear a lot of hats.
I see that.
Yeah,
I was like, about to say something, and you're like, "No, I'm not done yet. I'm still going."
yeah, yeah. Hell no.
Hold on.
I'll push.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the chat on the screen because you got a lot of people in there, commenting,
Okay,
showing you love and everything.
man. I
Uh,
appreciate the love for
yeah.
real. Damn, I
So,
appreciate the love.
and for those that aren't familiar with your story, and you're doing this, from being incarcerated currently, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Everything from a prison cell. I've done all
wow,
this from a prison cell. I've been incarcerated since the age of 16,
that's
and
incredible.
I'm now 47. And I started with nothing and built this empire. But not only did I build an empire, I was able to build a community, a tribe, and our tribe is just so vicious. And I just love the community that has been established because if it wasn't for them, there would be no me. I am
Right.
nothing without my tribe. My tribe is nothing without me. We are together. We are one. We move as one.
Yeah. Shout out to Cedric Carter. He was on the show 1700.
Yes,
Um,
Lord. Yes, Lord. Cedric Carter, 1700 Way. Shout out to my nephew. Love your soul every day. Shout out to my little nephew, Little Carter, 1700 Way. That part, respectfully and disrespectfully. But go ahead, though.
no, we also had 23 Bull on a couple days ago as well. He's one of your artists, right?
Absolutely. Another king. I started with 2 3 Moolah from the beginning, and him and I we've had ties since he was a kid. His peoples is Hobo, and Hobo raised me, and so me and Hobo were part of the same tribe, same cliques, and everything else. And it was an honor to be able to put his nephew under the wing and make sure I got him in the right direction and put him on that right track. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's impressive, of course, that you've been able to do all this, while being incarcerated and, since 16, and so I'm trying to do the math. That's, what is that? 30 how many years is that?
hmm
I'm sure you
31 years.
okay, like, don't make me do math right now. 31.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
31 years.
Yeah.
hmm
So, and, you have a hearing coming up. You're expected to hopefully get some, good results from that, and
Absolutely. So I got a court hearing coming up pretty soon, and from there we're going to be submitting our opening brief, and then of course the DA responds to that, and then the courts look that over and more, and it's in our favor that they're going to overturn the judge's ruling based on the fact that she did not rule on the merits under the letter of the law. So it's a blessing,
right, right.
definitely a blessing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll be rooting for you and praying for you for that, for
Thank
you to
you.
finally come home, after all this
I
time. That's
appreciate that.
crazy.
I
So, I
appreciate
was
that.
no problem. I was checking out some of your, previous interviews, and, one of the first ones I came across, you were talking about the 50-50 yards, and for people that
Mm.
are initiated with that, can you explain what that is and what your feelings are on that?
Okay, so a 50-50 yard is a yard where um, SNYs and general population, they merge with each other and they program together. I'm in total disagreement with that. I'm in total disagreement based on um, we are GP mainline, active GP. We live by a model, we live by a code, we live by principles. And when you're programming with the PC, and that's why, what happens is that you're giving up all your morals, you're giving up all your etiquette and all your ethics. And it's like you're saying, hey, I just want to be a PC. I could never do that. I laid down the foundation in here for so long. And for me, I want to leave as I came,
Right.
upstanding, and so, I can never, somebody once said, um, I rather, um, um, what is it? I rather die on my feet than die on my knees, and I've never been one to break or submit to an unjust system. This system has made this possible, these 50-50 yards, as a way to break the wills of us, by us adopting or adapting to the program of 50-50 yards. What happens is that, again, you start to accept the behavior of a PC. A lot of PCs do unnatural things.
Now
It's
what
not
is
just about
PC?
PC is protective custody.
Okay. And what's the
And
and
so
just
a lot,
for the layman, what is the difference between that and GP?
so So a general population active mainline is someone that's not that's upstanding, that's not running from nothing, that doesn't snitch, that's not a child molester, that's not a rapist. They live by a code of ethics. They live by principles. They have a solid program. They live by a moral standing. Whereas an individual that went SNY, usually they had some type of unusual thing on their jacket, whether it's child molestation, whether it's rape, whether it's telling, whether it's doing some type of unsavory thing. They let them over
Yeah.
there. Once they go over there, now they can be who they want to be. So there's no rules that governs them. So then they start partaking into homosexual activities and everything else that prison is associated with. And so that's the reason why we separate ourselves from that um, group of inmates, and this is the reason why we don't program with them because we live by a code,
Mhm.
and we live with etiquette. So that's what it's all about.
Okay. Like the honor system kinda or,
Absolutely,
just code like
absolutely.
you said.
So if you look at it like from that standpoint, I loved how you said that as well. That was great. Honor and dishonor. That's what it is. There's individuals who remain unsavory the rest of their lives. Where GPs, we have a program. We try to better ourselves. We do the right things and everything else. And We govern ourselves, whereas them over there, they don't do none of that.
I got you. So they're in the the process of the 50-50 is where, I guess when they're in the yard or whatever, they kinda mix the 2 groups together?
Yeah,
Or
so
they're
they
just
have they have different yards where they have integrated both the general population and S and Y inmates. And S and Y inmates are PC inmates. And so what
okay.
happens is they program together. So all the ones who are running from the general population mainline are now programming with the general population. And that's for them over there. We still have yards that are upstanding, and we
Mhm.
won't let an S and Y come to our yard,
Okay.
period. And so that's what it is. And so again, we hold true to principle. We're not here to program with people that are unsavory. It's
And
not just about it's not just about them being snitches and being rapists and being child molesters and being gay and whatnot. It's also a matter of we program, and we don't have time for that nonsense coming over where we're at when we're establishing ourselves as people who are changed individuals. And we try to do that as much as we can. And
mhm.
by bringing unsavory individuals in our environment, now you're disrupting the status, the ebb and flow of us programming, and that's just not right.
So programming being, the different programs they offer, for you like education and training and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and just staying out the way. A lot
Yeah.
of us want to stay out the way so we can come home.
Mm,
The prison has become much different than it was when I first came in here. And
really?
so it's just a different environment. And so
Like
now
in what
people can
way?
program from the sacrifices that a lot of us have made. Well, it
Okay.
used to be much more violent when I came here.
Really?
When I first came in here, it was seemed to be wars everywhere you go. It seemed
Hmm.
to be battles. It seemed to be stabbings everywhere you go. Now, on general populations, things happen. This is an environment that's prison still, but it's not as much. We govern our own, because of the and hostilities that we did back in solitary confinement, because I spent 17 years in solitary confinement
Yeah, I was
with
gonna
brothers.
ask.
We sacrificed back there. Yeah, absolutely. We sacrificed back there. But because of the end hostilities, we were able to um, quell a lot of the violence on general population lines. And so we deal with our own, each race deals with their own as much as possible. And we do our best not to cross lines and et cetera. But then don't get me wrong, every now and then life be life in, but for the most part, it's much more, I don't want to say peaceful, but the level of hostility has gone down tremendously as compared to when I first came into the system.
Why do you think that is? I mean, that's interesting. There's more
Because of
like
what I just said.
oh, just because of the separation of everybody?
No, because we were back there in solitary confinement, and we came to a consensus that it was time to end hostilities. You know,
Oh,
um, and that's why I was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, because
okay,
myself and a bunch of other individuals, we came together to end hostilities and to eradicate long-term solitary confinement. And
okay.
we pushed the line. We participated in hunger strikes. We sacrificed our minds, our bodies, and everything in order for people now to come to these main lines and have a program that's less destructive and more productive.
Right, right. I mean, what I can't imagine being in a solitary confinement for that amount of time. That's, insane. I mean, most people probably can't. What it just like, what generally, I mean, does that do to you? Is it like, how long does it take before it, like, really starts to sink in that, this is what you're gonna be
It
living
doesn't take
in? No.
well, it really doesn't take long. It depends on the level of extreme um, torture is being implemented upon you. You got to realize when I came back there, they would have gladiator fights. They would set us up. They would beat us in handcuffs. They would poison us and everything else. And so you had to deal with all of this. Then they would put unsavory individuals next door to you who would bang on your wall all day and all night, or bang on the toilet all day and all night, which was another form of psychological warfare, psychological
Right,
torture. And you
right.
had to learn how to endure all of that and keep your sanity, because you would if you didn't, you would break, you would snap. I
Yeah,
remember having two unsavory individuals on each side of me, and it seemed like they took turns just pounding my wall, pounding the toilet all night. all day for almost a year straight. And so what
Jeez.
I did was I had to go through my own psychological readjustment. So instead of hating them and hating the noise, I began to enjoy the noise. I began to make it like
Wow.
a rhythm, like a song. Like, all of a sudden when they bang, I start dancing. When they
Mm,
bang, I start working out. Sure enough, all of a sudden they're banging and I'm sleeping right through it. So it's a matter of going through your own psychological readjustments.
yeah. It's crazy what the mind can do, or, it can make or break you, really, but a whole year of that, like, I
Absolutely.
mean, you never know.
Hmm.
I mean, people go through a lot, in and out of prison, but that's something different that I think, most people have not
Right,
and probably won't ever experience, but, um,
right.
what effect, if any, has all this stuff with ICE had on the inside there? Have you noticed an effect
You said
of ICE, like
an effect as far as what is
like an increase in
ISIS? I
population?
mean ICE.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, ICE. Yeah, yeah.
well, it's become the main topic of discussion these days. And it's rightfully so. They're taking people from their homes and um, you know, they're doing things in a way that is a little bit aggressive at times. And other
Right.
times, they're just doing their job. But it's a real life situation, and it's one thing to be able to be over here and receive all the benefits and rights, um, and for free, and then it's another for them to be taken away, and then not only be taken away, but be stripped away from your family that you created over here. I can only imagine the devastation, and now you're thinking, how can I get back to my family?
Mhm.
So it's one of the main topics around here. And there's so many people that are concerned, are they going to be deported? And, is this only the beginning? And you never know.
Yeah,
The world has become a very strange and unusual place. And we have a system that's in place that doesn't care about really anybody but itself.
true. Definitely true. Um, where I live is, one of the whole state of Louisiana has the most ICE detention centers out of any state, and, specifically the one that's closest to where I live, Richwood Prison. Um, I think they have the biggest facility there, and they intermingle the ICE detainees a lot of times with the regular prison population, and I was just curious if
Mm.
that's have the populations increased there, if they're intermingling, ICE detainees with the
That part I don't know.
okay, okay,
That part I don't know. I believe that they have their own detention centers in other places, not here
okay.
in prison.
Yeah, here in this state, they smash them all together because yeah. But,
Yeah.
it's yeah, you're right, it's strange times, and that's why I was kinda surprised when you said that things have gotten less violent or, were less hostile now than they were when you first got in, but I guess it varies from place to place, right? So, but you,
Right. It does.
yeah, you you've written how many books again?
I've written 17.
17. So, are
Yes.
the books mostly, like, sort of autobiographical or, like, describe, like, what kind of books you've written?
So I have various genres. So I have children's books. I have
Okay,
suspense thrillers book. My children's book is called Sugar for My Granny, and it's the Sugar for My Granny edition.
okay.
My granny and we used to have the saying when I was a kid. She would always say sugar for my granny, and I say too sweet for the mama. And so that was just our thing. And you know, what way can I honor her while she's still here? How can I give her flowers while she's still here? So
Right.
I decided to write a book and a series of books. My other book is I have a suspense thriller called Love Towards Seductive. Love Towards Seductive. It's about a female serial killer who has an
Hmm.
alter ego, and her alter ego is a dude, and her alter ego is in love with her. So anytime she gives her heart to someone, or anytime someone hurts her, her alter ego comes out and sets them on fire.
Oh,
Hence,
wow.
Love Towards Seductive.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
I
And
have another one called Made It. Say that again.
I was saying, here's your Amazon books that are on Amazon by
Yeah,
you.
everything is on Amazon.
Mhm.
Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have another one called Made in Secrecy, about a big heist that's taking place. It's a maid that works amongst these millionaires, and she knows all their secrets, and she decides to um, do something that's just unusual and unnatural. Sure
Mhm.
enough, you know, it becomes a big story twist. And then the other books are spiritual. I have self-help books.
Mhm.
Um, One of the books that I just recently published is called Silent Warfare.
Okay.
And Silent Warfare is my version of an art of war, of the 48 laws and the 50th laws.
Okay.
And I wrote that book because they say that every great uh, um, literary writer writes a tale of what they know,
Mhm.
of strategies of how they succeeded, of the challenges that they've gone through. And so, Silent Warfare has been one of those books that it's been one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite writings, and I believe one of my best writings. And I know that you guys love that particular read. Then I have uh, I have a book on autism written by myself and my family member Renee Penix Alexander. I have
Mhm.
another book called Reflective Mirrors, written by myself and Cherie um, Vegan Queen Mendez, and another one called You Are One of One, written by myself, Tanika Twix Nix Allen,
Okay.
coming hard. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, when it comes to my team. Oh, and I got another one called Shadows of Healing, written by myself and Shannon Callahan. And
Okay.
so, we've been coming hard because we realize that, it's time to not just, talk about it, but be about it.
Right.
And the reason why I done all these collaborative writings is because I really believe in my team. I believe that we are winners and together we can do anything. And so we've come together and pieced together a lot of these books and, utilized our creative thinking and just came together and just brought together masterpieces.
Right. Well, everyone can, look for those books on Amazon. Now about the Nobel nomination. How did that come about when you were, like, I guess, campaigning for a change to happen with your other inmates there? Did someone notify them about it, or was a reporter there to get the story out?
Sorry about that. The volume is all chopped up in my.
Oh, okay. I was saying, how did the story about your efforts with the other inmates to reduce the violence get out to where you were nominated for a Nobel Prize?
I
Can you
might
hear
have to
me?
come back.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
it's
know why. It's
is it
like
me?
the
It might be
volume is
me.
really messed up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I don't know which side it is.
Hmm. Okay, can you hear me now? I don't know.
How about this? Let me come out and come back. You want me to come
Okay,
out?
that's fine. Yeah, chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, because the way my life is set up, if it can break, it will. It looks like my volume's coming in. It might be an internet thing. Yeah, yeah. Can y'all hear me? Er, 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 er. Hmm. All right. Nobody knows. Yes. Cool. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Am I too loud? All right. As we wait for him to come back, let's see. Let me shout out our sponsors real quick. Oh wait, he's back. Nope. There we go. All right. Now I can't
Okay.
hear. There we go. You're good.
Okay.
Can
All
you hear
right.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you real good.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. I was asking you. As far as the Nobel Prize, like when you were collaborating with other inmates and trying to stop some of the, you know, violence and hostility and stuff like that while you were in solitary. How did they find out about what was going on in there?
Well, it became a national news buzz because this hunger strike in itself was statewide.
Okay, it was a hunger
We
strike.
all came together. It was a hunger strike. It was um, um, not receiving cellies. It was anything that we could do to resist at that time. We made sure that we got the attention needed to show what was going on back there. Um, in solitary confinement. But more than that, the injustice that they were doing, they were tagging people and validating people in a way that was unjust. They were making up stuff, and people were getting stuck back there for 40 years, in solitary confinement. There were people that I was back there with that had been there for 40 years. There were people that had once. Yeah.
Hold on.
Sorry about that. Okay, so there's there
You're good.
there's that from there were people that were back there for 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. Me 17. And so it was just completely unjust how they would force people back there without a reprieve.
Right.
And so it was time for the attention to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
Even from just the abuse itself back there. It was funny because all of a sudden, once that happened, all the abuse started coming out. Everything that they were doing to us, staff started breaking in and reporting what happened and stuff like that. And so it gave us a stronger bite in the fight because now we had staff on our side who were giving the tea to those that needed to hear it so that we would get that reprieve.
Right. Right. That's amazing though. Like, well, it's like I don't know. I think maybe for a while there at least, it seemed like there were more whistleblowers across the board when it came to stuff that was going on in prison. Like again, an example around here is they have the juvenile center here. Swanson was exposed for having
Mm.
like the most instances of child abuse of any. That's yeah, like I said, juvenile correctional center.
Well, see, I actually went through that stuff. So I've
Oh,
been down since I was 16. Before that, I was down from 14 to 16
yeah,
and went through the whole experience of the abuse in the juvenile system and Los Padrinos. They were cruel, but not only were they cruel, they were sick,
yeah,
and they were abusing a lot of kids back there. And it's a blessing that finally it's starting to get national buzz and people
right.
are now being held accountable for the sickness that they did to us kids back there.
So really, you've been in the system for since you were 14, right?
Um, I did get out though. I got out at
Yeah.
16 and came back at 16.
Yeah. Well, except for that break, but that's terrible.
Yeah,
What do you see it getting better as far as like people, calling attention to it and calling people out on it as time goes on or you know, I mean,
absolutely. You got to realize that everything that has happened for a reason. Everything is about perfect timing. The best thing that could have happened is that things started becoming exposed. The minute there was a crack in um, things being exposed, it opened up a floodgate. And what happened was now they have cameras everywhere. Now they have to wear body cameras. And by wearing body cameras, they can no longer just abuse you the way that they used to because now they're held accountable. You
right,
know, um, I like that right there. There was a time that they would beat you and then say you assaulted them. Here it is, you're with the broken leg and the broken arm and in a wheelchair, and they said that you attacked them, but they were mad because you stood your ground and they
right,
took you down while you were in handcuffs. Fortunately for me, every beating that I received, I earned. I was a warrior. And back then, because of the abuse that I experienced in juvenile hall, I brought it to the penitentiary. So when a staff thought that they could approach me in any type of way, I was a warrior and I stood my ground as a warrior. And so I earned every beating that I received, you
yeah,
know. And I'm not saying that to be proud of. I'm just saying that that was the mentality. You You create a child who's been through so much turmoil and PTSD and
Mhm.
trauma. What do you expect to come out of that? And then you give a child so much time saying that they'll never see the light of day. What do you
Yeah.
think's to come from that, you know? And so that's what it was back then.
Yeah, like, literally creating little monsters, you know? Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Um, is that, part of where you got your name, or, like, where did your name come from?
Well, well, on the streets, I was known as, um, I was a big dude. You know, when I
Mm,
was young, at 16, I had 19-inch arms, and I could fight real good. I have a martial arts family, so I was already trained in martial arts, and I was a great fighter and everything else. And so, I was doing my thing back there. You know, at first it was just another name, but it was still something similar. And when I actually came into the prison system, it just blew up.
okay. And how are you
Well, but when it comes to my artist name, it's just it's almost like a shorter version of my original name.
okay, okay. I got you. So how are you able to, do, like, the music part of it, being that you are incarcerated? Like, how does that work? Is it well, you know, maybe that I shouldn't even ask
Well, they
that.
give us tablets. No,
Okay.
no, no, no. I listened to the interview before.
Yeah.
So they give us tablets, and we'll talk more about this later. But they give us tablets, and we call from the tablets, and we record from our tablet. And every 15 minutes, I have to pause and then call again and record again and
Okay, okay.
record more.
And
Hmm.
you've worked with, like you said, Snoop and, Nipsey, you
Yeah,
know, rest in peace, and,
yeah. Rest in peace.
a lot of major artists, and fully have their support from what I understand. Is there
Absolutely.
any plans for you to do some kinda, like, you know, first day out, or like an album when you are, going home? Like,
Well,
EP, album, single?
well, I'm definitely going to do a few things when it comes to music when I come home. I don't know if I'm going to do a first day out, but I'm going to do something that's going to surprise the world.
Yeah.
I want to do something that changes the world, but I'm also going to do something that surprises the world. You
Mm,
know, um, I'm definitely going to overseas and performing
okay.
overseas. That's one of my things. Myself and my big bro Cocaine has already, told me that once I'm home, we need to get my passport. We're gonna go travel the world and make sure we deliver
Yeah,
these hits. Let them know that we never live a lie. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
take over.
right. Um, Shout out to my girl Ree at 10, I think. Does that say my eyes are bad? Yeah, my girl Ree. Um, she said, "We keep bringing innocent children in the world as the evil and hate continues to be pushed." And that's so true. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Queen,
what do you
for
think
real.
it is about, I mean, well, not what do you think it is, like, the way that the system is set up, you know, of course, like, the history of it, it's like it's a lot of racism involved, and a way to continue the whole idea of slavery, just to continue it from where it supposedly ended, um, with the privatized prisons and stuff. Because do you have you been made to do just, like, general labor while you've been in
Oh,
there?
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So so there was a thing back in the days called plantation psychosis. It
Mm,
was created by Willie Lynch, and Willie Lynch created this ingenious tack, if you will, to inculcate in the minds of the slaves um, a psychological disorder, I would call it, to be able to remove the shackles from their hands because they knew that they shackled their minds through
mm,
this technique, these tactics. And so they've done the same thing in prison itself. So one of my first jobs, I was working 8 cents an hour at one time.
yeah,
Um,
there you go.
as a TA, I was working from 7:30 to 3 o'clock for 8 cents an hour. My pay is bumped up to 29 cents an hour. But just imagine, like, everybody's out there working these hard jobs and complaining. We're working 29 cents an hour
That's
from
crazy.
7:30 to 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because they'll work us to the bone and give us nothing. And if you owe restitution, they'll work you through the bone and then take the money from your restitution,
They take it.
and so they'll take it, especially
Just
if you're
take
not paid up.
it. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I know that when you earn that money, you don't get that money, and, like, I guess, what is it? A portion of it goes to, you can get something out of the commissary or something?
Well, see, no, no. So what happens is that they do. If once you earn the money, if you don't owe restitution, it goes to your trust account, and then from your trust account, you can then buy commissary and stuff like that, or
The
send the
full
money
amount.
to the streets, or yeah, the
Okay,
whole amount.
okay,
Unless you owe restitution. If you owe restitution, they're going to take probably majority of that, 55%.
right.
So if you made, let's just say you made $20, they're taking 55% of that.
That's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
what I mean, again, with Louisiana, one thing that stood out to me the most when I heard about, Angola, which that's Louisiana State Penitentiary, but everybody knows it as
Mhm.
Angola. It's named after a country in West Africa where that was the
Mhm.
main port, for the transatlantic slave trade,
Wow.
and, it's not ironic because the whole area is, well, first it's surrounded by about a bayou with alligators in it. So even if you're on foot, whatever, you can't get out. But
Wow.
it's cotton fields, and they literally
Mhm.
have them out there picking cotton for, like, I think, like, 5, 6 cents an hour, and
Right.
the corrections officers, whatever, on horseback. It's crazy.
Mhm.
It's crazy, that this
Wow.
exists in this day and time. So, yeah, or,
It's
make
definitely a reflection. It's a reflection of the plantation in itself, and they
mhm,
do that because they don't want to let go of what they once had. It's one of the most devastating things for you to be a supremacist and lose your supremacy. I now tell people that there's in the two types of supremacists out there. There's the white supremacist, and then there's the real white supremacist. And the real white supremacists, they actually run the world. They'll tell you that they're not racist, and you know while at the same time subjecting um, people to degradation, subject people to lack of health care and everything else, knowing that we need this, raising property tax and everything else, knowing that this is going to hurt the people.
yeah,
And the mediocre white supremacists, those are individuals in the rural areas that they scream it out loud, white power and everything else, but nobody cares about them,
yeah,
because they don't have the true power. The true power is the ones who are really controlling this world. And there's
that's
different types of
absolutely
white supremacy. There's black white supremacists, there's Mexican white supremacists, there's Asian white supremacists, because there's so many individuals caught in that indoctrination and they believe in the white supremacy mentality, and
mhm,
that's dangerous.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, the poor whites, I guess, that go for it. This is the area, the Bible Belt, I guess you could say that's the most
Mhm.
predominant in, and, just going for the okey doke because it's real easy to hate people. It's real easy,
Absolutely.
it's lazy.
Mhm.
Somebody said Alice in Wonderland. That's interesting.
Say
But
that again.
My girl Ree, what did she said her name was up here? Lex. I'm trying to find it. I wanna give her credit. There's so many comments. Anyway, my girl Ree said, Alice in Wonderland. It's
Yeah, exactly.
the rabbit
Exactly.
hole, yeah,
That's a fact.
yeah.
That is a
But,
fact.
you know, the powers that be or whatever, you see that a lot more. I don't know if it's because 'cause I'm getting older or because politics are getting more crazy, but,
Hmm.
I feel like more and more it's like, "What is going on?" Like, it feels surreal in a way,
Yeah.
and a lot of these people in office right now, they're finding out that they are, like, actual, like, on paper, white supremacists, like Nazis and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, I hope, when you get out that, that there's a change starts to happen or, currently it starts to happen, but man, it's weird times right now,
Well,
especially with
you got to realize that everything starts with us.
mhm,
There's a saying that he who is crazy enough to believe that he can change the world is usually the one that does. And
mhm,
so we have to be that crazy enough to believe that we can change the world. We can't give up our optimism. We have to fight for each other. You know what I'm saying? That's how you restore
Mm,
humanity. That's how you build the bridge. That's how you rebuild bridges so that we can start, succeeding together. You know, the problem is that there's so much pessimism in the world because so many people are broken. The system in itself was designed to break people,
mm,
to put you in a state that, you don't believe in your fellow human being. And by doing that, you're now able to be controlled by the system's indoctrination. And that's dangerous right there. You have to unplug. Life is the matrix. They gave us a subliminal throughout the whole movie of the Matrix. They said,
mm,
here's two pills. With one pill, you'll remain at your job, unawake, unawoke,
mm,
um, back to still doing the normal thing that you've always been doing without any awareness of the realities that you know. But with this pill, you're going to be awakened, you're going to be illuminated. And a lot of us would rather take the pill that allows us to stay in our delusion because, in their perspective, well, in their viewpoint, when it comes to them, their delusion has become their reality, and their reality has become the delusion, and they're used to, they're so accepting of the delusion that any type of truth or facts is a cancer to what they already believe in.
mm.
And they can't have that, so they'll fight against the truth in order to maintain the lie, and that's something cold.
Yeah. And shout out to, Sophia Stewart, who actually wrote the book that The
Shout
Matrix was
out.
based on. I always gotta mention that.
Absolutely. Shout out.
Yeah. But, so as far as your music goes, what's the something like, what's the most recent thing that you put out? I'm scrolling through your
Okay, so I actually have the most recent thing I put out was Dead Faces, but
okay,
I have some new music that hasn't even hit the scene yet. I have a song that I just recorded with myself, RBX, D3 the Rockstar, and Cocaine. It is
okay.
sick. It brings it back to that natural West Coast hip hop. I
Mhm.
have another song with Taya Third. Um, it go crazy. It's called Dead Man's Story. I
Okay.
have another song um, with Joe Ham. Joe
Mm,
Ham, the real Dove Cow. We got something that we just laid on the tracks. We're waiting for my engineer. Matter of fact, shout out to my engineer, Poppy Gordo. Poppy Gordo is like a hit sensation in Long Beach, and
yeah, I
he
heard
is
him.
just one of those master. And yeah, he's one of the master engineers. He does most of Taya Third's music and most of the West Coast music when it comes to just engineering stuff. He's amazing. He makes my sound the way it is, and I appreciate him for that. Everything that he's touched, him and DJ Booyah, DJ Bugatti, both of them have stepped my game up when it comes to just making sure that the quality of my music sounds up to par, even though I'm in this situation.
Right, right. So, I'm looking at what out of what you sent me here, trying to play something
I
or
got a
decide.
music. One of my music videos is Day One.
Wait,
Day
what?
Ones. Yeah, Day Ones. I'm the last verse.
Okay. If you sent it to me, let me see. Did you send that one to me?
I did.
Okay.
Day Ones.
Wait, wait. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. It's on. Sorry. Someone said, "Can't wait to hear," what they say? "Can't wait to hear that Joe Hammond MONSTA YO slap."
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. It go crazy.
Let's go.
That's the beginning.
Yeah, Don John. Shot my nigga Cardi, you feel me? Nigga Lucky Supreme just touched down in the motherfucking city. Yeah. Hey, look where I came from. Ain't no new niggas, I'm still with my day ones. How many of you niggas can name one? Homies that you grew up with since crayons. We still with the bullshit, we just older now. Most my niggas got money and pushing strollers now. We was busting it, hopping out of Rovers now. Cowboy, nigga, what you know about that bowling alley? Lakewood, motherfucker, we was really 5D. All this drink, we done had no ID. With my nigga RT, wasn't hard to find me. We done had Twitter, we done had no YG. Yo, top 8, that was my space. Chasing Henny, ironic, I'm tryna drive straight. I just in the pack, I used to buy Ace. All that flexing got us boosting up the crime rate. Dumb nigga.
Keep taking me back to the moment. Try hard to forget, I'm still on it. Caught up in the way things used to be. Now I'm sitting here stuck with the
Mandatory copyright pause.
They go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same producer you were talking about?
No, that one was produced by Don Johnson. The video was shot by I believe it was Hits. I
Mhm.
paid for the video. I paid for my billboard with all of us on the billboard. It was amazing. It was one. This is my first. That was my first video.
Your first? Wow.
Keep going down. Yeah, keep pushing it down.
So, like, here?
There you.
I
Uh,
yeah.
there you go. Go. Yeah, but go back a little bit.
Okay.
Right there. Stay right there.
Alright.
There we go.
Alright, let's
Perfect.
Cause you my day one, always been day one, no be mistake done. I love my niggas, something in my heart like Michelet song. You might can see us join us Siamese and say here they come. On the farm with bags and trees way back when Master P would say, Trey we always spit the place, steak on cake crumbs. Shawnee Mac, knocking niggas out until they face Lil Duff, baby Sugar Bear, TP and Lil Spit. Sandboxes, these my grandfathers I kill with. Real shit, back before these mumble rapping peel poppers. I conceal choppers with real partners like Lil Boss. Still cock your wheel, knock your bitch for being freaky to the wheels off. With Little Quark and Tony Sadiq. Climbing the steepy, running completely about my day ones. My partner said we hung with bad boys like Maze. In the same neighborhood, about a 4-way they stay from. My niggas have come over and it molded us to day one.
Dope.
That was him. That was him.
Oh.
That's the billboard that I paid for.
You already know. Free Monster Yo. Free Monster Yo till it's free Monster Yo. You agree? Free Monster Yo.
Nice.
You must free Monster Yo.
As a must, Trey. Free you.
Free my big bro, Monsta Yo. Yes, sir, you already know.
Free Monster Yo. Let's go.
Shout out to Low
Free
BG
Monster
Will
Yo.
and Horse.
Free my bro, Monster Yo.
Nice. My brother Jimmy Visual.
Always
That's very nice. That's gonna make you feel good. You know, you got
It definitely does.
yeah.
It
Cool.
definitely does. I'm gonna tell you this: love is a motherfucker. You know, you got to realize that. You know, when you're in a situation like this, it's so easy to go dark.
Mm,
It's so easy to give up. You know, and so to have love around you, people say that love is overrated. No, it's not. It's underrated. You know, and we need love to inspire us. We need
right.
love to motivate us. We need that to be our zest. You know, it arouses our optimism. It arouses our um, willingness to just believe in the impossible. You know,
Right.
if it wasn't for all those individuals who are supporting today, you know, and every day, I don't know where I would be, you know,
Yeah,
and so I love them the way that they love me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a blessing
for
for
sure.
real.
Yeah, you've done a lot of work with different avenues supporting mental health as well. You had a suicide prevention hotline that
Yes,
you
I
started.
do.
Okay.
Called Yana. You are not alone. It's an association with the real suicide prevention hotline where you can dial 988 to reach anyone. Um, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling like doing the unmentionable, call 988. We are here for you. Um, Life is not that hard. You know, it's really not hard at all. You know,
Right.
the things that we think about, the things that we believe, the only reason why we believe them is because of the moment. We allow a single moment to define the rest of our lives. And if you can get over the moment, I'm telling you, your life will be blessed. You'll realize there's so much good, so many more moments that you can create that are way better than that one moment of depression. And
Mm,
so, absolutely. I also have a book um, that's written by myself and Shannon Callahan called Shadows of Healing, and we're addressing mental health in the Black community. This is a book that really needs to be read. You know, no one is really addressing these issues today. And so we wanted to attack the issue, but not only attack the issue, but give solutions. You know, so many books there tell you about the problem. We know what we're facing. We know what we're going through. We know the traumas. Now give us some solutions to cure these damn problems because we're tired of hurting. We're tired of feeling alone. We're tired of feeling depressed. We're tired of feeling overwhelmed. And so my book gives those particular solutions. And so make sure you guys go cop that book as well on Amazon.
And what's it called again? One more time?
Shadows of Healing.
Shadows of Healing? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's
Matter of
awesome.
fact, hold on. Hold on for a minute.
Okay. Trying to type with my hand. I am gonna get a mic with the stand one day, so I can do both
What?
hands.
No, I end up letting somebody read that one. So
Oh, okay.
somebody has it in their cell right now.
Let's see. There we
But
go.
these these are my other books. The Magic of Celebrating Autism Through Articulate Expression by myself and Renee Penix Alexander.
Did you have
This
a
book right here.
family member, or
Say that again.
you have an autistic family member, or
Yes, I do. Yes, I
okay,
do. So Renee is my cousin, and she has a son that's autistic. And I'm a part of a nonprofit which she founded called Leo Lion Club Foundation.
okay,
So I'm the ambassador of Leo Lion Club Foundation, which targets autism. And so we go out and we create platforms for the kids so that they can enjoy just living, you know, and to be able to feel as normal as possible through the activities that we give them, the workshops and everything else.
mm,
Renee Penix Alexander, she does so much for kids, man, particularly autistic kids. And so her thing is, you know, her life's mission is to, you know, just give these kids a second chance of
mm,
normalcy, you know. And she has a book drive as we speak right now. Her um her foundation resides in New York. She's in New York. And I would encourage everybody to go support her book drive. You know, go support everything dealing with kids, support anything dealing with um the autistic, you know, support each other, man. It's time. Let's support each other.
my camera messed up, but I'm here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
what about what are some other programs that you've worked with as far as like
Um,
mental?
I've, I've, I've worked with a lot of programs. I'm also a part of the Put the Guns Down movement. And with the Put the Guns Down movement, there's a docu-series. So it's called Put the Guns Down, A World Epidemic. Um, Executive produced by Terry C. Corney Sr. Um, and um, what he has done, and a lot of us, what he has done is he has brought us all together to bring attention to gun violence. You know, gun violence is real,
Yeah,
and kids are dying in mass numbers now. Our futures are dying. The possible presidents, the possible doctors, the possible leaders of the world, they're dying senseless through senseless violence. And so what we've done is come together to put together this docu-series as a way to start saving our nation. And we started with LA, you know, bringing together the top leaders from every culture, you know, and we've done that because we want to bring not just the awareness to the cities, but we want it's time to end these hostilities. We're doing too much. We're feeding into the trap of white supremacy. And
right.
until we stop um, embracing this self hatred mentality, we will continue to be victims of our own self destruction. And through this docu series, this allows us to have a discussion, and from that discussion, start creating rudimentary solutions that we can be proactive in.
That's
So that's
You're doing a lot of incredible stuff.
and
That's
thank you very much.
yeah,
And
yeah.
just so they know, put the guns down. A world epidemic. It's on Apple. It's on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, um, Google TV, and there's some other ones it's on as well. But go to Amazon Prime, go stream up, put the guns down. If you stream it up and you make a video of yourself watching it and you turn to the camera and say, put the guns down, and send it to my page, Monsta_yo, I will definitely put it on my page and it will go viral.
Nice. There you go. If you want to go viral, and go watch it anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like my girl Ree said, go watch Put the Guns Down right now. And check out his books too as well, and his music, and everything else you're doing. I salute you because you're doing a lot with
I appreciate you.
very limited,
Definitely appreciate
resources and everything. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Appreciate you.
I definitely want you to play one more, at least another
for sure.
video called Mama. Mama. And this is a shout out to my mama. My mama
Okay.
went through a lot of struggle, and I want to just make sure I honor my queen.
Yeah,
So I made this song for my mama. This was like one of my apologies of just being a knucklehead, being a dumbass.
Let me see. Did you send that one to me?
Yeah, it was a video called Mama.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't see it.
At least I thought I did. MAMMA.
I gotcha.
The official video with Dorothea Washington.
Okay. And shout out to everybody watching too, and we appreciate you, sharing this and everything else. Even after the live, let's see.
Thank you for all y'all support.
Yeah.
For real.
You have a great team behind you. Is it not Cookie Monster? What?
Nah.
No, that's not it.
Just put Monster MAMMA, then just put Monsta Yo. It should be a video.
MAMMA. Again, typing with one hand. Here we go. Got it.
Okay.
Educate to elevate. That's right. Everything. Someone said, JWXYZ. Every time I hear this man speak, he's not only knowledgeable, full of philanthropy, with an encouraging following. Free the brother Monsta Yo. God, hear our prayers for Monsta Yo's absolute freedom. Thank you. Amen.
Blessings. Thank you.
All right. Here's Mama.
Different, but it's still there. God is doing great things, baby. He'll take care of y'all. He'll protect you all these years. He'll keep you all these years.
It's true. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
We're going to pray this out. I want to get my prayer before I leave.
Okay. Mighty God, as we come before thee right now, we know that you are the answer, and we know that nothing too hard for you. And God, look on my grandson, because you are able to touch. Give him strength today. Encourage his heart. In you, God, we live, we move, and have our being. In you is life. In you is joy. In you is peace. In you are in the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, mama, I got something to tell you. You never failed, girl. I failed you. All the stress and that these jails. I know you wishing you could excel too. To the crosses where they nail me. It's unhealthy for a relationship. Been in jail all these years. I just want to thank you for your patience. It's blatant if just Satan gets his way. We praying day to day. You and Granny just put it in God's hands and let him pave the way. We pray and pray the Lord. Let us see the day they raise the gate. 27 years of torture. Of course, I'm trying to escape the hate. Some can't relate, but how could? Ever since my childhood, I was raised up in a wild hood. I thought I'd come out good. Deep within my soul, I got something to tell you. I know you did your best to raise me, mom. You failed me, angel. I failed you. I apologize for all the pain I brought you. And mama, I apologize for any tears I brought to your eyes. Mama, I apologize for all the pain I brought you. And mama, I apologize for the tears brought to your eyes. Yeah, mama, I apologize for all the drama. Brought you nothing but shame and dishonor. Wish daddy wore a convict. Then that sucker would have never had a chance to hit me or you. He turned me to a monster. That's why I was in the street war. You were always my saving grace. Your prayers paved the way. I took a shot and made it like a Steph Curry fade away. I swear to God, I hate to say that daddy was a blatant gay. He kept it from you, mama. So when you were there, he played it safe. Been caged away for 27 years, right after they tried me. When everybody left, you stayed right
Arise, my king. You are my jewel. I am proud of the man you become. I can't wait to see my love. Love you.
True. That is true. That is true. Yeah. Check this out. I want to get my prayer before I leave.
Okay. Mighty God, as we come before thee right now, we know that you are the answer, and we know that nothing too hard for you. And God, look on my grandson, because you are able to touch. Give him strength today. Encourage his heart. In you, God, we live, we move, and have our being. In you is life, in you is joy, in you is peace, in you is the Holy Ghost.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure. Shout out to your mom. Well, that's awesome. I mean, everyone can find you. The socials are on in the description on everywhere this is posted. And free you. Could you
Yeah,
do me one
appreciate
favor
it.
before we get out of here?
Absolutely.
Could you do a little drop for me? Just say, "This is Monsta Yo, you're listening to the Rap Yard Podcast."
Okay. So to all of y'all, you listen to one of the best rap podcasts. You know, uh, th-
You
hold
can
on,
you
hold on. I'm gonna
you
do
can
that
do
over. We're gonna do that over.
Okay.
This is Monster Yo. You listening to Rap Podcast, Rap Yard Podcast. And this is one of the best of the best. You already see that she has a great spirit, great energy. She brings the best of the best out of you. I want to thank you, Queen, for just being who you are. Thank you for everything that you
Really
do
true.
for all of us. You know what
Thank
I'm
you.
saying? And I wish you nothing but success. And
I
thank you for
appreciate
your patience.
Same to you. Same to you. All right, folks. We appreciate you watching. We'll be on here next time, next week. I can't remember who we have on, but it's a few people. We're gonna have people back to back. A lot of dope artists coming up during the holidays, on the holidays, every day. So stay tuned. And thank you so much for coming on. I mean it. That's much appreciated.
Absolutely.
That's great. All right.
Always.
See y'all next